Hi, this is Teo from waterblocks.com. Today I want to show you the differences between a water brush and a normal brush for sketching purposes. When I first started sketching 5 years ago, I used a lot of water brushes. These are some of the ones that I've used over the years. A water brush is a brush that has a water reservoir behind. So you can fill this part with water, and when you press it, the water will go to the tip and you can use it directly with watercolor. But over the years I find that it's a bit difficult to control the water flow because the gravity will pull the water down, so water is always flowing. Your watercolor may appear a bit patchy because of that. So after a year I switched over to using a natural brush. But the water brush is very compact because it comes with a cap to protect the bristle, and a natural brush you have to protect it, well, somehow by putting it into a brush wrap or something. But I discovered that there are pocket brushes available as well that comes with natural hair. So this is a Vinci Maestro pocket brush, and you can keep it very easily. I think there's a stray hair, but let me show you this one. This one is a Rosemary, same thing. It's collapsible, so you can use it to keep it, and you can fit it into your watercolor box like that. But because there's no water supply to this particular brush, I need to bring an extra bottle of water to wash the brush. And I'm going to wash it right now because there's a stray hair, and I have to be careful when I'm keeping it. So these two are very compact, but I prefer to use this one plus the water bottle. Let me show you the differences between usage. Let's start using the water brush and see how it compares with the natural brush. It's very convenient. You press the body and the water will come out, and you can wet the brush and use it to dissolve the pigment. I'm going to create a flat wash first. Because water is coming out of the brush at all times, sometimes the wash can be a bit patchy, so you can see these patchy marks. And because the fiber used is not natural, it doesn't hold as much water, and to get the brush to this stage here, the brush is going to be dry and you have to press more water, and the result is you're going to dilute the pigment and you're going to have some sort of gradated wash. So it's very difficult to achieve a flat wash, a consistent flat wash. But let's take a look at the natural brush now. This is a natural brush with sable hair. I'm going to just dip it. For a natural brush, of course, you have to wet the brush before you apply it to the pigment to dissolve, to create all mixtures. So I'm going to show you the same thing. I'm going to create a flat wash. So in this case, I think you can see that it's definitely much flatter. It's not as patchy as the water brush. And if you want to, let's say, create a gradated wash, you can just add more water. This is the bottle that I bring outdoors. It's actually an ink bottle that I repurpose. So you can just add more water and continue with the wash down to create a gradated wash. But with a water brush, you don't have to wash it into your bottle. You can just squeeze the water and you will create a gradated wash as well. It will take some practice. As you can see, it's a bit patchy as well. So you really need to have a lot of experience and a lot of practice. To mix colors with the water brush, you need to clean out the color on the brush tip first before you add other colors. The reason is because you do not want to contaminate other colors, and for watercolors, Usually you paint from a light colors to darker colors. For example, you start with yellow, then you go for maybe orange, then you red or blue, because red and blue, they are much more intense and you really need to use them later. If not, for example, if I use red now, if I go into yellow, it's going to turn into orange, so it's going to contaminate the yellow color as well. To clean the water brush, you just squeeze out the water and use some paper towels or tissue to clean it. Make sure it's clean, and then you can use add in more colors. So now that it's clean, I can add more colors. As for the normal brush, of course, you can just wash it and you can just mix it very easily. Water brushes are also quite limited because they use synthetic fiber. There's not a lot of different variation when it comes to synthetic fiber, but when it comes to natural brush, you can choose to use sable, or you can choose to use a mix sable plus synthetic, or you can use a synthetic brush as well, or you can use a squirrel brush fiber. So you get a lot of different variations that you can choose for the brush tip, but for this water brush, it can be quite limited. Water brushes are great for drawing in smaller sketchbooks. For example, if you are drawing in an A5 sketchbook, I think water brush is a very good product to use. For example, this is an A5 sketchbook. For this piece, I would use the water brush inside these areas, because these areas are very small. You can just dab into the paint and just paint on. But when it comes to areas like this, the big area of sky here, I will use a natural brush because I want to achieve an even flat tone, and it's quite challenging to do that with a water brush. Same thing for this big patch here, I will use a natural brush. But for smaller patches like this, sometimes you want them to appear patchy, and that's where you can use the water brush. I usually use water brushes for A5 sketchbooks and below. For A4 sketchbooks and larger, definitely use a natural brush. Nowadays I use mostly natural hair brushes because they offer greater control, even though it's a bit of a hassle to bring out the extra water bottle for washing the brush, but I like the greater control it offers. I still use water brushes occasionally. That's when I'm drawing on smaller size sketchbook and I do not need to bring the extra bottle, but I will bring a few brushes out so that I don't have to clean the brush tip as often. It's because one brush you can use it to mix orange colors, another brush you can use it to mix purple, and another brush you can use it to mix greens, so you don't have to keep cleaning your brushes. It's more convenient that way. But with the introduction of this pocket natural brush, I think it's quite compact as well. You can bring this out with your watercolor box and sketchbook. That's all for today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comment sections. Oh, and I actually have a separate video dedicated to just water brushes. I'll post the link on this video and in the video description below as well. Thanks, and if you haven't subscribed to my video, remember to subscribe because I'll be posting more art product reviews, sketchbook features, sketching techniques and tips in the future. Thanks and have a nice day.